One may at first be surprised to hear the title Journey of Writing in Egypt. Did writing go through a journey? If this journey were real, when and where did it begin? And where did it end? The journey originated when the ancient Egyptians began to inscribe pictures, signs and symbols on their walls that experts then called مخربشات or graffiti. Egypt was the fertile land from which the journey began, helping humanity preserve its sciences, arts, and literature.
Writing probably is one of the most important achievements of mankind. Without writing, we wouldn't know about history. We wouldn't have the possibility to store and transfer data, information of any kind.
To keep pace with economic and social growth, the increase in trade, and the pressing need to document tax collection operations in ancient Egypt, writing developed from a simple form of graffiti or signs into a more sophisticated model of writing called hieroglyphs. The journey comprises three major phases, the first of which is the ancient Egyptian writing.
العديد من العلماء اعتقدوا أن اللغة المصرية القديمة ليست أقدم اللغات في العالم القديم، ولكن الدراسات الحديثة التي تمت وخاصة في منطقة أبيدوس في الأعراب المتونة كشف عالم الآثار دراير عن نصوص بتثبت أن اللغة المصرية القديمة كانت معروفة 150 سنة قبل 3000 قبل الميلاد.
We found evidence for early writing at the tombs of Abydos, where the earliest rulers of Egypt are buried. And mainly we found ink inscriptions on pottery and incised signs on little labels, ivory tags, bone tags, which once had been attached to commodities. And the first label we know with such an event is a label of King Narmer, about 3000 BC. The event of the year is his defeat, his victory over the papyrus people, which led to the unification of Egypt.
With the evolution of writing, ancient Egyptians created an easier form of hieroglyphs, the hieratic priestly script. Egyptian scribes borrowed hieratic signs from hieroglyphs, but in a more simplified way, in order to document religious and literary texts on papyrus. In their daily transactions, commercial and legal activities, the ancient Egyptians relied on a more cursive script called the Demotic popular script, which emerged in the 8th century BC, lasting until the 5th century AD. ancient Egyptian writing was used since the early dynastic period. The writing in vibrant colors brightened up the royal tombs and temples of eternal Egypt. Magnificent works of art. Egyptian scribes excelled in documenting the ancient Egyptian civilization.
يمثل الكاتب المصري حجر الزاوية في تطور الكتابة في مصر القديمة، فلقد استطاع هذا الإنسان الفذ في استخدام العلامات التصويرية والصوتية في التعبير عن كافة أفكاره سواء المادية أو المعنوية. ولقد استخدم هذا الكاتب أدوات مصنوعة أو موجودة في الطبيعة المحيطة به، فقد استخدم قلم البوص ودواية الحبر، واستطاع أن يخصص علامة هيروغليفية لهذه الأدوات.
The 3rd century BC witnessed the emergence of Coptic writing, representing the final evolutionary stages of ancient Egyptian language. Coptic writing adopted an alphabet based on the Greek model, with 7 additional symbols from the Demotic script to represent some of the Egyptian phonemes that were not available in Greek.
استمرت اللغة القبطية في قرون طويلة لحد يمكن القرن ال15، على حسب كلام المقريزي إن كان في قرية اسمها موشا نواحي أسيوط، كان بيقول لك النساء حتى مش الرجاله، النساء بيتكلموا اللغه القبطيه، واستمرت اللغه القبطيه لحد القرن ال15، وان كانت بعد كده ابتدى يقل استعمالها.
To this day, in Egyptian churches, religious rituals and canticles are written and chanted in Coptic. During this first phase of the journey, the Proto-Sinaitic writing emerged. The plateau of Sarabit al-Khadim in the Sinai Peninsula encompasses the Proto-Sinaitic script, which played a crucial role in linking ancient and modern alphabets. Its alphabet system is considered the origin of Phoenician alphabet, from which the Greek language was derived, followed by modern European alphabets. The Proto-Sinaitic alphabet is the first actual alphabet known to the ancient world. Experts believe that the most probable reason behind its emergence in Egypt was the cultural impact of Egyptian hieroglyphics on the writings of Asian laborers working on mining expeditions in South Sinai during the Middle Kingdom. The first stage of the journey of writing was marked by the mastery and skillfulness of ancient Egyptians in developing new methods for writing and influencing other scripts. The second phase was characterized by the diversity of linguistic and cultural backgrounds introduced to Egypt. The cuneiform script emerged in ancient Egypt halfway through the New Kingdom. It appeared in the diplomatic correspondences historically known as Amarna letters, evidence to the presence of cultural, diplomatic, and commercial ties between ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. The name cuneiform means wedge-shaped, as the inscriptions were as straight as wedges. This script was created to document Sumerian, one of the oldest languages in the ancient world, as well as the Akkadian language that followed. Upper Egypt and North Sudan, the Meroitic script and language spread widely during the 2nd century BC. The intertwined relations between Egypt and the kingdom of Meroe led to the emergence of the Meroitic writing in Egypt. Among the most significant Meroitic inscriptions found in Egypt are those incised in the Temple of Kalabsha, dating back to the 5th century AD. The most notable transformation at this stage was the use of Greek as the official language in Egypt under Ptolemaic and Roman rule, coinciding with the emergence of the Carian, Hebrew, Armenian, Tifinagh, Syriac, and Amharic alphabets of the foreign communities that peacefully resided in Egypt.
اللغة اليونانية مهمة جدا وقديمة جدا، ودورها في المعرفة الإنسانية دور محوري. أما دخول الكتابة إلى مصر، الكتابة اليونانية إلى مصر، فأقدم نقش يسجل كتابة يونانية يرجع إلى القرن السابع قبل الميلاد.
These inscriptions are located on one of the legs of Ramses II's statue, standing at the entrance of the great temple of Abu Simbel. It refers to the Nubian campaign led by Abismatic II, whose members included a group of Greek mercenaries. The most significant role of Greek writing was its contribution to the deciphering of hieroglyphs after its disappearance for many centuries. Champollion succeeded in deciphering the hieroglyphs on the Rosetta Stone in 1822 AD by comparing the name of Ptolemy V in both hieroglyphic and Greek texts, which helped him identify the phonetic value of both. But we cannot deny the serious attempts by Arab scientists to decipher hieroglyphs during the Middle Ages. With the influx of the Greek community to Egypt, Carians started migrating from Asia Minor, today known as Turkey. They settled in Saqqara, Memphis, Abydos, and Abu Simbel, leaving behind a variety of writings and inscriptions that tell of their beliefs and daily life. It's worth mentioning that 70% of all Carian inscriptions were found in Egypt. Jews lived intertwined in the Egyptian society, adopting the Egyptian way of life. Our heritage encompasses a variety of documents that reflect the daily dealings and religious rituals of Egyptian Jews.
أهم الوثائق العبرية التي تمثل الكتابات العبرية الوثائقية في مصر استخرجت من موقعين أساسيين. الموقع الأول هو معبد بن عزرا. معبد بن عزرا بمنطقة مصر القديمة، أقدم المعابد في العالم. هذا المعبد وجدت فيه جنيزة، يعني منطقة في الدور الثاني في المعبد كان يخزن فيها أوراق متنوعة من كتابات عبرية في جميع المجالات.
This Geniza encompasses a mixture of liturgical texts, excerpts of biblical literature, and Greek-Hebrew lexicons. The significance of the Geniza lies in its being a true mirror of its time, in addition to its documents that contributed to completing the documentation of foreign events that were not recorded throughout history. In the 4th and 5th centuries AD, several Armenian monks came to Egypt to join the Coptic fathers. The text of the founding of the Armenian Church is one of the most important Armenian inscriptions in Egypt. The journey then takes us to the west, in the middle of the desert in Siwa Oasis, where we find the Tifinagh inscriptions. The Tifinagh script was introduced in Egypt through the Tuareg tribes, passing through Siwa Oasis, which lies at the trade crossroads in the Sahara Desert. From the south, we were introduced to the Amharic writing, the official language of Ethiopia, that had trade relations with Egypt in quest for myrrh and other local products. In the 4th century AD, Ethiopian monks immigrated to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church in Egypt that was led by the Egyptian Coptic Church. To this day, Amharic is still used in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church in Egypt. On Elephantine Island in Aswan, archaeologists found a wide range of texts written in Aramaic, one of the most important early writings used in Egypt starting from the 6th century BC. The Aramaic alphabet was easier to learn and faster to write in comparison to cuneiform. Thus, it spread extensively and rapidly. It was used by the Neo-Babylonians and Assyrians, becoming the official language of correspondence in the Achaemenid Empire. This stage was clearly characterized by tolerance toward foreign communities in Egypt. Reaching its 3rd stage, the journey witnessed the widespread use of the Arabic language and writing in both formal and public levels, and it has continued to this very day. Heading to the east, the journey records the presence of the Nabatean script throughout Egypt. The Nabateans were early tribes of Arabian origin who immigrated to the Levant and Sinai. Settled in the Sinai Peninsula, we were introduced to the Nabatean script in the valleys of Sinai, where it continues to this very day. Arabic calligraphy is derived from the Nabatean script, which in turn is derived from Aramaic. The process of Arabization began during the reign of the Umayyad Caliph Abdul Malik bin Marwan to disseminate the use of Arabic language and writing. Egyptians used a variety of Arabic calligraphy that experts classified into two main styles: the dry calligraphy, later known as Kufi, and the cursive style, later known as Naskh. All credit for the dissemination and flourishing of Arabic writing goes to the Quran, that preserved both written and spoken forms of the Arabic language. Writing went through a long and great journey throughout Egypt as it developed from pictorial to alphabetic. Perhaps Egyptian artists were first inspired by the quote of the wise Ptahhotep, "Speak to the future, for it shall listen."